I think I might actually have to get married to satisfy my mom. Oh yeah, my mom's been doing this really like uncomfortably manipulative thing where she goes like, my health is declining and I really want to see you get a boyfriend. And I was like, first of all, you're not dying. And if you are, don't tell me. Number 2, that's kind of mean. Number 3, let me just pull one out of my ass like right now. Like, what do you want from me? It's a little bit annoying and I kind of get where she's coming from, but I'm just like, you know, what a way to make someone feel better. That is some psychological warfare. Yeah! I'm like, I almost thought about lying that I had a boyfriend or something. Like, yeah. Because my aunt's been really pushing. Like, I've been really hesitating to go over because every time my aunt is there... Thankfully, she works a day job almost every day. She almost scheduled me with one of her friend's son. And they even took a picture of him and sent it to me. They wrote a bunch of things. They're like, this guy speaks 4 languages. He can speak Chinese, English, Japanese, and Shanghainese. And I was like, wow. Can't wait to speak Shanghainese with this guy. Like, cool. Also, they're really good with, like, computer engineering. It's like, they can help, like, with your PC. And I was like, bro, I think if I read a book, I could probably figure it out. Like, it's super okay. They're just like really hyping up this guy. And then I remember my aunt's friend's friend. Let's just call her like Jane. Jane looks at me and she's like, how many languages can you speak? And I was like, I can speak English. I speak a bit of Chinese and like even less than that in Japanese. And she was like, you should learn and polish up on both Japanese and Chinese. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm learning a bit every day. And they're like, well, what's your job? And I was like, my job? You don't need to know. I think when I said that, she was kind of shocked. Because she doesn't really know me. She was like, you know, it's not good to put yourself in positions where you're in a very dangerous environment. And I was like, first of all, I'm not part of the mafia. Okay, chill your bones. If I were, I don't think I would be showing up this often at my family's home. Okay? Second of all, I don't know what you mean by that. You know, just tell me if you think I'm like doing something shady, okay? Just say it. Just say it. Just say you had an NDA. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, can't really talk too much about my work. And I guess it makes sense to kind of be like, oh, sussy. So I just said that sometimes I do things with music. And then she was like, well, I don't think you're gonna make a lot of money doing music. So, you know, you want to find someone that will like support you in that. I was like, not this lady just meeting me for the first time and just like devaluing my whole life. Like, bro, who are you? I was like, who are you? You want to set someone up with your son? Maybe you should be nice. Because you're a reflection of your son. And your son is a reflection of you. So, you know? And then after they left, my aunt was like, what do you think? Like, I didn't even meet the guy. I just, like, met his mom. And then my aunt was like, what do you think? Like, he sounds interesting, right? Here's a photo of him. And I was like, no. No. Like 1000% no. Like, apparently this person also is pretty picky. He doesn't want to date a girl who's, like, over 165 centimeters. And I was like, why would I want to date someone who is already picky before he even meets someone? Like, I wasn't even, like, giving out, like, terms and conditions. The guy was like, yeah, they need to be like less than 165 centimeters. And then I was like, how tall is this guy? And then they were like, oh, he's like 170. I was like, no wonder. The bitch can't even take like 5 centimeters like shorter than him. That's crazy. That is some really frail ego right there. I'm not gonna go out with someone who's like gonna be like upset if I'm like going within the 165 range. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm not within the 165 range, but when they asked me how tall I was, they're like, my son doesn't like girls who are above 165. And then I was like, and then she's like, how tall are you? And then I was like, 166. I was like, I'm 166 centimeters. I'm sorry to disappoint you, ma'am. I don't think I fit the requirements. Have a great day. My mom looks at me because my mom's really tall. She's like, but I'm taller than you. Oh, I don't think you're 166. And I was like, oh, I grew, you know? And she was like, oh, I should measure you. And I was like, no, I just measured myself yesterday. Which I didn't. And my aunt looks over and she's like, you're definitely not 166. I was like, I'm 166. I just hunch a lot. When I hunch, I'm 150. When I don't hunch, I'm 166. I was like, yep, my spine is that long. I don't know what I said, but at some point I was like, I have an abnormally long torso. We were not having your back. Yo, these two women, my aunt and my mom, they never have my back. They will always like feed me to the sharks. Like, it's not that I don't trust them, but I know if I want to get something, I need to have me, myself, and I on my team. So my aunt, she never does this. My aunt never talks to my dad unless there's like an emergency regarding me. But when I went to Japan, my dad was like, oh, by the way, your aunt sent me a photo of this guy that she's trying to set you up with. And then I was like so shocked. I was like, my aunt talked to you? What the fuck? Because my parents are divorced, so they really don't have a reason to really talk to each other, you know? So it's kind of weird that like my mom's sister is going in contact with my dad. And I was like, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter what I think, because at the end, I know that the only thing that matters is that you want to. And I was like, see, this is the difference between a parent that makes me feel comfortable and a parent that pushes all my boundaries, you know? He was like, it doesn't really matter what I think, because I think you just don't want to do this. And I was like, that is correct. You are correct. And this is why I love my dad. And then I was like, but do you think I should give it a try? And then he was like, he looked at me and he was like, I don't think you're ready. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And my dad's like, I think you're too occupied with your job right now, and you don't seem like you really want to be with anyone. And I was like, my dad knows me like the back of his hand, damn. He's like, yeah, you're doing so well, like, on your own right now. I don't know if you really want to get disrupted. And I was like, damn, you really said disrupted, like, interrupted. That's crazy. But he's like, you know, if you want to give it a shot, you can. And I was like, do you think this guy is cute? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay, guess not. Bye. Distracted? Sorry, I meant interrupted. I can't believe they didn't let me say that I was 166 centimeters. I was like, oh my god, when I said that, my aunt's friend Jane, she was like, you're so cheeky. You would like that. And I was like, ew. I was like, I don't like people who like cheeky people. I like people who dislike cheeky people. So then I feel like I have to like work harder to get their attention. I said that. I said all that. And then she was like, that's a really weird taste. And I was like, I didn't say this out loud, but in my head I was like, you don't think that your son, like, being so picky about like height? I was baffled. I was like, mothers who have sons get so blinded that their sons are so weird that like they forget that normal people are not like this. I was like, how do you raise someone and not realize that they're a little weird, you know? And just like, come on. Like, I kind of get it if you were like, oh, you know, it makes me feel insecure if they're a bit taller than me. Like, fine, okay, I get you can't control your insecurities. But like, actually putting a number on it is crazy. I was like, bruh, I'm 166. I don't know what you're talking about, guys. That's my canon height. I'm 166. There we go, I dropped it. That's my height, guys. 166 centimeters. Take it or leave it. Yeah, she said that I was a little bit sassy, so maybe I would like, you know, cause conflict with that. And I was like, I don't think that's gonna be the first thing that causes conflict. I can see 3 things that are already causing conflict, and the guy's not even here. And they laughed because they thought I was like joking, but I wasn't laughing. I was telling the truth. I was like, there's already 3 things here. It's Jane, my aunt, and my mother. I'm just 1 centimeter taller than you, and now I feel short as a guy. It doesn't matter if you're short or tall. It only matters when you're a good person or not. That's it. My mom and my aunt were like, they got so frustrated with me at one point. They were like, what kind of guy do you even like? And I had this really intrusive thought where I was like, I like women! You know? I just want to see what they would say, you know? There's like this intrusive thought in me where I was like, what if I just yelled out, I just want to date a woman? I just want to see what they like look like, you know? I don't even think I have tastes. I think I have a lot of preferences, but like, if someone's really nice to me, there's probably a chance. I'm pretty, like, I don't want to say I'm easy, but I'm like, I think I just don't really have much, like, taste. I think the biggest thing for me really is, like, how you clean up after yourself. That's all I really, like, something that really, like, would shake my compromise a bit, you know?
Always wanted everybody to call me One-chan.
I'm gonna get demonetized.